Right now, you're probably wearing more layers than you think you need. A shirt, maybe a jacket, socks. You barely notice it. It's automatic. But 20,000 years ago, that same instinct, cover your skin or die, was the single most important decision a human could make. Winter wasn't a season back then. It was a test, and most things failed it. Woolly mammoths had fur, fat, and 4 legs built for snow, and they still went extinct. Humans had none of that. No fur, no claws, no layer of blubber, and somehow, we're the ones still here. Most people assume it was fire that saved us. Fire helped, but fire alone doesn't explain it. The real answer is stranger, and it's still written into your body and your habits today. Stay till the end. The last part will change how you see every jacket you own. So let's start with the obvious question. How do you survive a night that can freeze exposed skin in minutes? The first answer is shelter. And it's not what you picture. Forget deep, dark caves. Most early humans barely went into caves at all. Too damp, too dark, too easy to get trapped by something bigger than you. Instead, they used the mouths of caves and natural rock overhangs, then modified them. They hung heavy animal hides across the openings like curtains, blocking the worst of the wind. In open plains, where there were no cliffs to hide against, they built something even more incredible. Domes made from mammoth bones. Some of these structures, found in Eastern Europe, are over 20,000 years old. Skulls and leg bones stacked into a frame, hides stretched over the top like a tent. Think about that for a second. They built houses out of the biggest, most dangerous animal on the continent. But bones and hides only trap warmth. They don't create it. That's where fire comes in. And here's what's fascinating. Fire in the Ice Age wasn't just about heat. It was survival on every level at once. It cooked frozen meat that would otherwise be almost impossible to eat. It sterilized tools. It kept predators from wandering into camp at night. It gave people something to do in the pitch black of a polar winter, when the sun barely rose at all. But keeping a fire alive in freezing temperatures was brutal work. Wind kills flames fast, so people tended fires constantly, in shifts all night. When they moved camp, they didn't start from scratch. They carried burning embers with them, wrapped and protected so the flame never fully died. Flint and pyrite, the rocks used to spark a new fire, were treasured possessions. Losing your ember supply in the middle of winter could be a death sentence. But even a warm fire in a solid shelter isn't enough if your body is losing heat every second you step outside. So what did they actually do for their own skin? This is where it gets clever. Early humans didn't just drape themselves in animal hide and hope for the best. Around 40,000 years ago, something changed the game completely. The sewing needle, a tiny sliver of carved bone, thinner than a pencil. With it, people could do something no other animal on Earth could do. Tailor clothing to the shape of a body. Layers, fitted at the wrist, sealed at the collar, built to trap heat instead of letting it escape. Reindeer hide for warmth. Fox and hare fur for softness. Some clothing was even dyed. This wasn't just survival gear, it was engineering. And it worked so well that some researchers compare it directly to modern cold weather mountaineering gear. Moisture-wicking layers underneath, waterproof layers on top. Humans figured that system out tens of thousands of years before Gore-Tex. But clothing and fire only protect you if you have the energy to keep your body running. And that's the part most people never think about. Winter meant food was disappearing. Plants died back, rivers froze. So what did they eat for months at a time? Here's the twist. They didn't just hunt harder, they planned ahead. Early humans figured out how to preserve meat long before refrigerators existed. They dried it, they smoked it over the fire. And in one of the strangest tricks, they weighted down fresh meat with stones and sank it into cold ponds, where the near-freezing water kept it fresh far longer than leaving it out in the open. A prehistoric refrigerator, built from nothing but water and rock. Fat especially was treated like gold, not muscle meat, fat, because fat gave the dense calories a freezing body burns through just to stay alive. Every part of a hunted animal got used, bones became tools, sinew became thread. Nothing was wasted because in winter, waste could kill you. But none of this, the shelters, the fire, the clothing, the food, worked without one more ingredient: people. Winter forced humans into incredibly close quarters for months in the dark, depending on each other completely. Groups split labor. Some tended fires and processed hides. Others tracked and hunted. Knowledge about which plants were edible, how to sew a seam that wouldn't leak cold air, how to read weather in the sky, all of it had to be passed down person to person. Or the group didn't make it to spring. Winter didn't just test bodies, it tested bonds, and it might be the strangest part of all. Some scientists have even asked whether humans slowed their own bodies down in deep winter, resting far more, moving less, almost like a lighter version of hibernation, just to conserve the calories they didn't have. So here's the truth hiding underneath all of it. Humans didn't survive the Ice Age because we were the strongest animal in the cold. We were nowhere close. We survived because we refused to just adapt our bodies. We built our environment instead. A shelter that didn't exist in nature, clothing tailored like a second skin, a fire that never went out, food systems that outsmarted the season itself. Every single one of those inventions is still with you right now. Your jacket is a direct descendant of a bone needle from 40,000 years ago. Your home is a warmer, safer version of a mammoth-bone dome. Your fridge is that stone-weighted meat in the frozen pond, just electric now. We didn't outsurvive winter, we outbuilt it. And most of us walk past that fact every single day, wrapped in the proof of it without ever once looking down.